what's going on, guys? Major League Shooter here with another video, guys. Video for you guys. So this one in particular is going to be about why I had a change of heart, I guess you can say, when it comes to firearms. I think, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I was on one of my social media pages, and I had an inbox from one of the people following me, and they asked me basically why I had a change of heart, why I am no longer against the public owning firearms. And in order for me to answer that question, I kind of have to give you a little bit of my background, a little bit of my past, in order for you to really get a grasp of why I had this change of heart, I guess you can say, in reference to firearms. So when I was a teenager, I was a bad teenager. Like, I smoked weed, I did drugs, so on and so forth. Not only that, but I was on the wrong side of the law. I grew up gangbanging, representing, Los Angeles. I was an LA gangbanger. And along with that came the legal possession of firearms. The vast majority of the firearms we have were not even legal, not only in the state, but as the country as a whole. And I'm not naming names, I'm not going to put out a gang or anything like that, but the fact still remains that we owned or possessed illegally possessed firearms. And this is contrary to what the rest of the nation believes, especially at the left wing. I'm not trying to get into the political side. I'm neither left or right. I'm just a supporter of the Constitution. If anything, you can call me a constitutionalist. But especially at the left wing side of the party, they generally like to think that if you completely disarm the populace, that along with that is going to come public safety. But that's not necessarily the truth. And I'm a living fact about that. As a gangbanger, it was very easy to obtain firearms illegally. And I'm not talking about just like, oh yeah, we don't like this pistol, so it's getting banned. I'm talking about fully automatic rifles, machine guns, so on and so forth. We've even had grenades. And they were very easily to obtain. And if we had that as criminals, I'm not a criminal no more, so I want to put that out there right now. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I believe in, I have faith in the system, even though I know it's broken. But I have faith in people that it will eventually get better. So I'm not anti-government either. But so if it was that easy for us as criminals to obtain firearms, what would be the situation if everybody in the United States was disarmed and nobody had the lawful right to obtain a firearm? Then the only people that are going to have firearms is the government, the police, and the criminals, leaving all of the law-abiding citizens vulnerable to attack, home invasions. And if you're inside the house and you get home invaded, the chances are they're going to execute you, or whatever the situation may be. Maybe they're not as bad as some of the other criminals, but the fact still remains they have a firearm and you don't have the right to protect yourself. That is what would happen. So back to the initial topic, why I had a change of heart. So it didn't really start until I decided to get my life straight, because at the time I had just gotten married and I had just found out that my wife was pregnant. So along with that, I had an immediate need to change my life around, because A, I was going to die on the streets, or B, I was going to end up in jail, and I didn't want either one of those. Luckily for me, all the crimes that I've committed, I've never been caught, so I had a still clean slate and everything like that. So I had all of my opportunities available to me, and that's not very common to see in a gang-related, for an individual that's gang-related. So with that, I decided to do something good for myself, so I started looking around, and I ended up joining the United States Army. At this point, I started realizing how much fun it is to shoot, because I was doing it on a legal basis. And as soon as I graduated basic training and everything, my first duty station was Texas. And if you compare Texas to California, it is two completely different worlds when it comes to the support of the Second Amendment. People here in California generally think that firearms are bad, and that's not true whatsoever. They're nothing more than a defensive tool for you and your family. It's even quoted in scripture in Luke. You can look at it yourself. Luke, Exodus, so on and so forth. There's multiple Bible scriptures as well that supports your defensive need to own and possess a firearm, or in the Bible is the sword. So I got stationed in Texas, and it was cool. The laid back style that they had when it comes to the Second Amendment was amazing. I got my first concealed carry permit, and I walked around with the Glock. 34 was actually my first pistol. Glock 34 was my first pistol that I've ever owned. And went to the range. I shot up some stuff. It was actually really fun, and I started to grow appreciation to what the Second Amendment was to and the Constitution as a whole. So I kind of sort of thank Texas and the United States military for getting me to change my opinion on firearms. I started realizing that firearms are not offensive tools as we used to use them in the gang, in the gang environment. They're not offensive tools. They're defensive tools for people like you and me. So, then I got out of the military, and then I came back to California, and I didn't want to believe it before, but then as soon as I came back to California, I started realizing how bad of a situation it is here towards not just the Second Amendment, but the Constitution as a whole. California passes so many anti-constitutional bills that is just, in my opinion, ridiculous and needs to be corrected. But the fight's still going on. But yeah, with that being said, that's basically what I wanted to tell you guys, is how I changed my mind, my perspective on firearms. And as always, if you like the video, please give me a like. If you like the channel, what I'm trying to do, portray to you guys, please subscribe. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. You could always contact me at one of my social media pages like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Or if you just want to go directly to me, you can send me an email at MajorLeagueShooter@gmail.com. And as always, I'll leave all that information in the description below, so you can contact me, we can discuss, or maybe you can drop a line so that I can have an idea for a future video. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and God bless America.